So there's a song by The Fray here, Logan. It's called Ungodly Hour. I want to play that song right now. If you're tuning in, God bless you. I don't know how you're up in the morning. We just stopped at Dunkin' Donuts for some coffee. Amazing coffee, of course. Welcome here today. NC State takes on Navy at this ungodly hour of 8 a.m. Zach Sarwire here alongside Logan Ward. We appreciate you for joining us here today as well. Now, NC State comes into this game 2-0, coming off an amazing 9-4 win last night against the James Madison University Dukes, who end up falling, I believe, 1-1 on the tournament so far. Navy as well is 1-1 as well after losing their first game against Kentucky 1-0 and winning yesterday against Duke 11-3. Duke has been struggling with roster issues for the longest time now. There's been a lot of things going on, but the big story is that Laith Jadala stepped up to the plate last night and recorded over 3 goals, had a hat trick, might have had a few extra as well. Stats are always at a premium there. Sam Benishevitz, of course, doing what Sam Benishevitz does, had a goal, had a couple assists on the night as well. Alex Robinson had 2 goals. Logan, well, last night was a great game. How does State top it this morning?
State's just got to make sure that they get that perfect tournament, honestly. They got to do everything in their power. They got to make sure that they get those power plays and penalty kills down, and they need to make better plays in the neutral zone. If they can do that, they can come away with the perfect Stephen Russell tournament.
Riley Johnson in the first game of the tournament back when State faced George Washington had an amazing turnover back in the defensive end, something that we won't forget about for sure, and that's exactly the kind of defensive play that Coach Gazzarri wants to see from his team. What do you think? Do we see the same kind of defensive turnovers today from the Pack, or do we see a little bit more of defensive lapses? I mean, come on, it's 8 in the morning here.
I mean, that's always the hope, that everything goes perfectly. But you're going to have lapses. It's how you deal with those lapses and what you do to come back from those that really matters. Lapses are going to happen. It's just a fact of hockey. But if you can recover from them, you can have great plays like what Johnson had.
In this tournament as well, State has scored countless goals. I believe at a total of about 13 goals now, 9 goals last night, 4 goals in the first game. Gave up 3 in the first game, 4 last night, so they have right now a +6 goal differential. What do you think about those statistics in terms of offense? Are the Pack putting their offense first or their defense?
It was more of a defensive struggle, honestly, for them in the first game, but I think in the second game, their offense really showed how great they can be when they're all clicking. Jadala with a hat trick, and of course, Benishevitz just doing what he does best, which is everything. So, honestly, I'm going to be interested to see how they go here because it's definitely been a defensive affair in the first, but more offense in the second.
A big thing to look at today as well is Luke Ostrowski from Navy, the midshipman. It's going to be a massive showdown today. Luke had 4 goals yesterday against Duke. It was a big turnaround. Strom Ostenmacher as well did have an assist on Ostrowski's 4th goal. Today getting the start will be Mitch Stengel from the Navy midshipman. It's going to be a great game today. Stengel getting a couple starts so far. Navy coming in 1-4. So Navy could be at a little bit of a defensive premium. Now, Logan, State has historically done very well against Navy in the past. They did win last year's game 5-3. What's going to be the secret for State today to rebound after a very intense battle last night? It wasn't no secret. The guys look gassed after the game last night. What are the keys today for State to stay energized going forward?
They've just got to keep this momentum going. They've got a good feeling going from last night. They've got to keep that going. And really, if they can keep it going, there's not much else they can really do.
They got to keep it going. We're going to keep it going here. We probably got another 4 boxes of coffee here just for us. So we're going to be talking. You're going to be listening. Hope you guys enjoy the game today. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break for Logan's 3 Keys. National anthems going on right now here for both teams. We will stand and await for these to finish. Beautiful national anthems going on as well for both teams. Here the Wolfpack chants as well. The Banishevitz fan crew is here as well. Sam Banishevitz's girlfriend is here. One of the most loyal Ice Pack fan supporters as well. Over the actually before the ACCHL tournament here, Logan, it was actually very highly popularized on Instagram. Sam Banishevitz's girlfriend went with Sam and Luis Jimenez last year to get a tattoo of the Ice Pack. Very loyal supporter in terms of that, but we want to thank you for joining us very early this morning here. Zach Stolwaye alongside Logan Ward here for you today. The Navy will be starting a lineup of Anthony Placino, Kevin Harris, and Strom Ossenmacher. Yesterday, though, the big player was Luke Ostrowski, who will be on the third line today. On defense, we have Jake DeSalis, Owen Norton, and Mitch Stengel in net for the Navy midshipmen. In terms of state, they'll be icing the same lineup, and we want to welcome you here to today's match. Zach Stolwaye alongside Logan Ward here as the Ice Pack take on the Navy midshipmen as Laith Jadala fires a shot that goes just high. Jadala to the front of the net, just wide through the corner. Davis Hudson now working it slowly. Anis Tratov, who had a very solid game last night as well. Davis Hudson paired with Devin Halko. Gazillo starting the third line of defense tonight. Banishevitz, no mistake. It's early in the morning, but apparently not early enough for him. Sam Banishevitz, 1-0 now for the Pack.
Absolutely incredible play there. The Ice Pack came out of the gate firing, scoring in this first 30 seconds, it looks like. Just incredible offense so far. If they can keep that pace up, we're going to have a heck of a game here.
One of our keys consistently here, Logan, is getting off to a quick start, and Sam Banishevitz obviously makes no mistake there. Very solid start here for the Pack heading into the final game of this tournament. Could we possibly see State winning the Stephen Russell tournament along with walking away with 9 points on the weekend?
I absolutely believe it's a possibility. If they have a great showing here and get enough point differential, I think that winning the Stephen Russell tournament is almost a guarantee.
Coach Gazillo now shifting over. Johnson now. Riley Superman Johnson through the doorstep of the net just wide. What an opportunity there. Riley Johnson now alongside the boards, hacking and whacking at it. Davis Hudson. Hudson over to Halko. Halko now with a quick shot. Chips up just into the mesh. The ref signals that as well. Now, we're up here. We're just talking, Logan. These guys out here, they actually got to play this game. We were talking a little bit about this beforehand, but before some of this play begins, talk about some of your keys to the game for the Pack today, and even some for Navy.
Definitely some of these keys to the game for the Ice Pack. They've got to keep this continued success going. You've won 2 games in the Stephen Russell tournament. You win this third one.
Johnson to the front. Johnson just behind. Banishevitz will get credit for the goal. That will be, I believe, his 4th of the year. Jadala will get the assist on that play as well. Laith Jadala had a hat trick last night. Devin Halko as well got an assist on that. I believe he had an assist last night as well. We will tabulate points in just a second here. Devin Halko will push forward to that puck for Alex Robinson. Johnson now with the strong forecheck in as he beats out one of the Navy players. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Tyler Kima. And now Navy plays it. Now forechecking strongly is Austin Hogan. Hogan in the corner with the battle with Robinson. Robinson around the back. Robinson looking for an open man. Nobody in the slot waiting for a puck to be played. Parker Cesarek now goes behind the net. To the front of the net, Alfanzetti can't find the twine. Just wide there. Davis Hudson now working it alongside the back. Tyler Alfanzetti now in a quick battle with one of the Navy players. I missed the number on that one. I believe that was my mistake. Parker Cesarek now in a quick battle with, that was Barbario, number 8 right there for the Navy midshipmen. A big fact about Barbario: a lot of these players are from up north from the Navy midshipmen. They are in the New York, Minnesota sort of area. There's plenty of players to be talking about today for sure, and we'll bring you all that action here. Navy, of course, coming into this game 1-4, as we talked about in our pregame show. Not exactly the kind of record you want to start off the year, Logan.
No, absolutely not. But you see this Ice Pack continuing a sustained attack so far, just putting all the pressure on the midshipman defense.
And now a 3-on-2 if they hurry. It looks like it's just going to be a quick clear. Ostrowski on the forecheck, but Parker Cesarek won that battle. Ellis Rushford now behind the net, completing a little bit of a wheel breakout. Mazakowski now sending up to Cesarek. Cesarek up the side of the boards, flying with great speed. Great check by Kevin Harris, the first line back out for the Navy midshipmen. Mazakowski takes a shot to the front. Nobody home in front. There they go. Parker Cesarek with the backhander. Mitch Stengel with the quick save. With 16:50 left to go here, the Iceplex under new management, of course, waiting for a new scoreboard to come in. Some of the numbers are broken on that as well. So we thank you for bearing with us as we handle technical difficulties with our amazing scoreboard application here. Something new that we've added here at PackTV. Something that allows players and fans to see real-time and, of course, real goals based on what they have going on between the penalty boxes. Commissioner Mike Wally is here as well as the puck is chipped to the front of the net through the slot. Great defense there by Alex Vedetta. Vedetta having a solid game last night. Penalty issues were not too severe last night. Now rushing through the middle are the Shipmen.
However, one thing they do need to watch for is Rushford has had way too many penalties in this tournament so far, including that 5-minute last night.
Strom Ossenmacher had an opportunity there, but Ian Hutchison engaged today for the NC State Ice Pack, getting one start last year against the Duke Blue Devils on the road. Had another one as well, but that memory eludes me. Ian Hutchison did let in one goal during that game. Stopped about 10 shots in that one as well. Looked very sharp. Hutchison, of course, a sophomore in the business school. I may be wrong in that particular fact because at the end of the day, everyone changes their majors. Everyone is always doing something different there in college. Now pushing back, that's Hansen. Hansen sends it all the way flying up to Siopolo. I may need to get that pronunciation right as time goes on. Eric Mura now behind the net. All the way down, there's Schumann. Schumann now in a battle with Costigan and loses that one. Hacking and whacking to the front of the net. No one there to pick up that loose change. Alex Vedetta now in a battle with Schumann. And now a corner battle ensues. A little bit of mustard and custard in the corner. There goes Costigan. Costigan will try to clear it out to get some fresh bodies on the ice for the Ice Pack. O'Rourke now will settle it down to Mura. Mura will look for the open man in Drugan. And now through the neutral zone, fresh bodies.
Definitely having these rotations are key right here.
Laith Jadala now. Jadala with the big night last night with the shot. No problem there for Stengel. He holds on.
Aggressive play out of the Ice Pack so far. You love to see it so early, but you have to wonder about fatigue and how much that's going to affect them later in this game. Having Hutchison in net, it's good that you can have 3 goalies that you can trust right here. Joey Hall getting the first start of the weekend against George Washington.
Now rushing through the middle. There come the Shipmen with a chance. Rushing up the side. Great defense there by Devin Halko on that rush. That was number 22 for the Navy midshipman. That was Emmett Jenkins. Now to the front. Anis Tratov tried to make it through the middle.
Physical defense by the midshipmen there, just harassing this Ice Pack attack.
Banashevitz through the middle, trying to eliminate any opportunities for Lucas Strowski. There goes Jadala. Jadala through the neutral zone. Jadala, can he hang on to it? Over with a shot just blocked out in front. Great defense. I believe that was Siopolo. And it was. Now the puck is sent back. And Tratov to the front of the net just wide. And that will be Tyler Chima now going in to collect the puck, but Jadala still has it. To the front of the net for Banashevitz, trying to pressure very hard against the Tyler Chima of the Navy midshipmen. Now pressing it forward once again are the Shipmen through the neutral zone, off the skate of Robinson, and fresh bodies are back on the ice once again.
Aside from that first goal allowed by the midshipmen, their defense has looked rather strong all game so far.
Banashevitz over to Todd. Todd on the first line last year for the Ice Pack. A very critical player last year as well. Here comes Navy rushing up the ice. There's Ossenmacher. Ossenmacher with a quick shot. Hutchison very sharp early with the pad. Play is stopped.
Good save there. Good positioning. Just ready to block that one.
Big story last night was Miles Ferrone, was seen as the floater player as well, putting him anywhere up and down the lineup. That player today will be Brandon Seppi in the lineup for the NC State Ice Pack. Ossenmacher tried to get a shot off right there. No hope. Cam Mazakowski in the middle. Mazakowski coming off a minor injury in the home opener against the James Madison University Dukes. Riley Johnson with a huge in between the moves, a little bit of a nice toe drag. Take that home to your mother on Christmas Day. What a move there by Johnson. Johnson, of course, had the overtime winner in the home opener, something we won't forget. Johnson with another shot just wide. His goal streak as well was snapped at 4 games, I believe. He scored in the first 3, did not score last night. Today he'll be looking for his 8th official goal of the year. Unofficially, he does have 8 goals. As Trevor Merchant told me, at least he had 7 going into the West Virginia weekend. Eric Todd with a far-out shot and no problem there for Stengel at all.
Fantastic, just glove save right there. Caught it right in the middle of the air. Can't really ask for more than their goalie has put in so far today.
Taking another look at the lineups as well, Matt Costigan continues to center Owen Drugan and Alex Vedetta on that fourth line. We haven't seen a lot from Costigan this year, Logan, but in general, what do you expect from a fourth line grinder like Costigan?
It's always great to just, again, having those 4 lines that you can count on. We see Costigan out here a lot during this game, but having a veteran that can center a line like that and on your fourth line, that's incredible to have that experience back there.
A lot of players recorded a lot of points yesterday. Just a few quick things as well. Moving it through the corner right there. Sending it back in, that was number 28. That was Sal Ciapolo. For any Navy fans, please go ahead and tweet us at Into the Pack. If I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong, I want to make sure that these guys are getting proper treatment here from the PackTV broadcast crew. Not enough coffee can make me smart. Parker Cesarek with a quick shot just out in front. Horrible rebound control there from Stengel as Alfonsetti had a very good opportunity to make something happen. Now back in front. Cesarek with a quick shot and Mitch Stengel making no mistake.
Parker Cesarek showing exactly why he won that fastest skater award in the skills competition. Just absolutely breaking out. Almost getting that opportunity for a goal, but the goalie just saving it right there. Mitch
Stengel, of course, hailing from Deerwood, Minnesota. A strong player. Somebody that we did see last year here, Logan, at the Raleigh Iceplex in the morning. Now, the memory does elude me in the fact that I don't remember who started last year, but I believe it was Stengel. We did see him once or twice. Drugan comes in on the offside play. But a lot of players did move on and graduate, and several players were inducted over the offseason into the ACCHL Hall of Fame. Something that's relatively new. Commissioner Mike Wally in attendance today at the Iceplex. 4 locations are for the Stephen Russell tournament today. Several locations out in Hillsborough, the Cary Ice House, I believe even the Wake Forest Ice Factory. Several places today. Costigan with the turnover back to Drugan. Drugan with a quick shot off the blocker there of Stengel to the front of the net on the doorstep. Poking at it. Vedetta now. A little bit of fisticuffs. You don't need coffee if you're getting a wake-up call like that, honestly, there, Logan.
No, that should definitely wake up the Ice Pack a little bit. Their offense has looked strong, but maybe that sort of aggressiveness is just what they need to perk up.
1-0 heading into the halfway mark of the first period here. Not a lot has happened from Banashevitz scoring within 30 seconds. That's something we're going to be talking about a lot. We may talk to Banashevitz later on today, as he may be our Wolfpack Outfitters player of the game, as Ian O'Rourke fires a shot just wide. Eric Mura settles it down to O'Rourke in the neutral zone and flares it back up.
Ice Pack just collecting themselves, trying to find an attack zone right there.
O'Rourke trying to make a little bit of a dangle move, but he ain't a dangling mood this morning. Intercepted well there by the Navy defense. That was Jake DeSelles. DeSelles was a player we saw last year as well. Very outstanding. A joke that many of us cracked last year as well during these games. Navy's already up anyway at 5 in the morning doing their runs and stuff like that. So 8 o'clock hockey game. Any different there, Logan?
No, not for the Navy midshipmen. For this Ice Pack team, though, most certainly.
Quick shot out in front. Huge save there by Hutchison. Almost couldn't find it on the doorstep. Hutchison stands tall. Well, lays down kind of wide. Terminology, Logan. Again, we need to go home and make this dictionary.
Been compiling that all weekend. Hutchison with a great job just jumping on it. Poor rebound control at first, but he still managed to save that one in the end, and that's really what matters.
Ossenmacher over with the quick shot from Harris, and Harris cannot solve Hutchison.
Fantastic glove save right there. Just caught it right out of the air. Didn't look like that one was going in, but still great to pluck that one right out of the air.
Now, Strom Ossenmacher hails from California,
and pretty
Newport Beach, and you got to think, with the rise of hockey in untraditional markets, you think, well, hockey can really only be played in the north. You have the Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks, Los Angeles Kings, and now even the Vegas Golden Knights. Hockey exists everywhere now, and especially to see that one of Navy's best players hails from that area. Back out to the front, Ossenmacher still can't solve Hutchison, and they score! There's Kevin Harris with the shot. 1-1. Tied up here in the first period.
Hutchison just caught out too far to the outside of the net there. Harris took great advantage of that and just put it in the back of the net.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. Nobody covering up the open side for Ian Hutchison as the Pack now are tied up after a very good quick start.
Poor zoning there by the Pack defense. They've got to communicate a little bit better to figure out exactly what's going on and to figure this stuff out so that they don't allow more goals here early.
Adena, Minnesota native Maxwell Schumann loses the draw against centerman Nikita Anistertov. One of the biggest things that I'm liking so far about this Ice Pack team, Nikita Anistertov, is what the Ice Pack have been missing as Navy rushes up the ice and Hutchison makes the easy save. They finally found their big-bodied center down the middle, something that the team has been lacking. Last year, Eric Todd was in an awkward position. Not a lot of center depth behind Will Bieberdorf last year. Bieberdorf great for the Pack in the past. Back up to the point, Robinson with a shot, easy save there for Stengel. But having Bieberdorf down the middle last year was their only true big center, as Eric Todd suits more as a skilled playmaking center. Back to the front, Robinson tried to finagle out in front in the slot, and a big save there coming in for the midshipmen. But Eric Todd now coming back in. Logan, your thoughts on the center situation here for the Pack?
Having that big-bodied center absolutely is key to this Pack team. Bieberdorf saw success at the center position as a big-bodied center, so you know that they'd like to find a similar player to step in immediately. And Todd fills that role. Or Todd could not fill that role.
For sure. Eric Todd, of course, centering the dynamic duo last year between Sam Banashevitz and Luis Jimenez, a line that dominated very well as pushing it into the corner. The midshipmen now rush up the ice. There's number 8. That's Jacob Barbario. Riley Johnson trying to make a move once again. Johnson really filling up a very strong, silky skater roll. Johnson will backhand it in for Robinson in the corner. Puck chips just over, and Barbario controls it once again.
This has been a very back-and-forth game so far. After that first very quick goal from the Ice Pack, the midshipmen and the Ice Pack have just kind of been trading blows so far. Nothing really happening, but definitely some chippiness. Have to imagine that that might be a result of having to wake up so early.
Definitely so. Of course, I checked with some of the people who are working today's game, as now there's a 4-on-2 rush occurring. Eric Todd now over. Mazikowski with a shot with a rebound just through the doorstep. Almost had a rebound goal there for Eric Todd, but it went just wide.
Nobody there to catch that one for the Ice Pack. Unfortunate right there, as they had an opportunity right in front of the net.
Disappointing as well that there was no promotional coffee for any of us today. Alfonsetti to the front of the net, ACC Scholar of the Year. Kick just wide, defended well by Owen Norton. Norton now in a battle with Alfonsetti. Norton comes out on top, and now they rush it back forward. There's Harris. Harris today. Harris with a quick shot, gloved down by Ian Hutchison with 7:36 left to go. Let's talk briefly about the goal scorers today. Sam Banashevitz, of course, for the Ice Pack, and I believe Kevin Harris for the Navy Midshipmen. Two guys that really have done outstanding jobs so far. Harris having a goal yesterday and coming into today as well, having a few points on the year, not too many. Of course, Navy coming in 0-4.
No, and especially Banashevitz, we can't say enough about what he provides to this team, and that was definitely shown early today as he got that very quick goal in the first 30 seconds here. And that's definitely the aggressiveness that the Pack wanted to see. We talk so often about scoring in those first 10 minutes being essential, and the Pack was able to do that. They just need to continue this attack and get some more points on the board.
O'Rourke now will send it flying back in, gloved down there by Mitch Stengel.
Stengel doing a wonderful job after giving up that early goal. Both goalies looking pretty strong here in the early goings. Defense definitely needs to work on their zoning on both sides, but so far the goalies have been able to pick up what has been lost.
Surveying the Iceplex here in this very early morning, several flags now don the rink.
Yes.
Former NHL teams, former logos. Alfonsetti now with the shot just wide. All the ACCHL teams, well, as many as they can, are currently listed with beautiful flags across the benches as well.
Yes.
Team that we saw last year together here, Logan, was the UNC Charlotte 49ers. So far in this tournament, I believe they are 1-1. We'll double check for you on that. But in general, what is the sophomore slump after a championship usually look like, Logan?
Usually after a championship, you do have to avoid that sophomore slump, like you said. There's a little bit of just dreariness because you won the championship, so you played a little bit longer a season than everybody else, and the reward for that is immense. However, you do have to keep playing and rebound hopefully next season.
Rebounding will be important for sure, and now the Navy will rush it up. Chipped out just wide, pressuring that puck was Mark Hansen. Now back, that's Michael Foskey. O'Rourke now with a quick ship out in front, just misses it in the middle. 2-on-1 if they hurry. There come the Navy midshipmen. Hutchison gloves down, a really quick shot there from Emmett Jenkins. Hutchison slows down.
Again, strong play by Hutchison so far, using that goal to perfection. We might even say that there have been 3 different goalie styles that we've seen out of the pack in this tournament, using body positioning, the stick, and the glove as their favored.
Jenkins, of course, a big fan of deep dish pizza, hailing from Chicago, Illinois. Chicago last night winning in overtime against the Ottawa Senators. Big win as well. Now back into the corner. Owen Drugan. A little bit of a scary situation there. I believe that was Emmett Jenkins once again, almost going headfirst into the boards.
Never want to see that.
Absolutely, never at all. Ian O'Rourke now will send it flying back up. Matt Costigan will try to rush it forward. Eric Muir now rush it back into the defensive end. Muir with a little bit of a mishandle. Pressured well. Puck still out in front. Owen Drugan try to clear it out. Costigan now will come back, try to fight Tyler Kima for the puck. Now back out in front with the opportunity just wide of the net. Amazing opportunity, I believe. That was Ostrowski out in front. Ostrowski with an amazing opportunity early, and the puck is stopped.
Fantastic play by both sides so far. The attacks have been strong, but the goalie play, I would argue, has been even stronger. 1 goal apiece so far. The defenses really do need to work on that communication. I can't say it enough, but their spacing has not been on point so far. The goalies having to make up for gaps in the defense, which Hutchison and Stengel have been able to do so far. However, that it's going to be difficult for them to keep it up for an entire game and have continued success in that regard.
Now working it back. There's Ossenmacher. Ossenmacher with a good backhand, but Drugan intercepts that puck. Last night, of course, Jess Tart getting his 2nd start of the year. Costigan will move it forward with the shot blocked out in front. Tart's been looking good. This is his first official season. Was on the roster a few short years ago, but took off a year like many players do. With club hockey, since they're managing most of their own time and own schedules, they do need to take time off for educational purposes, of course.
Absolutely.
School comes first, as always, with anything. With Tyler Alfonsetti, I don't know how he does it. 4.0 GPA, one of the Ice Pack's best players, and mechanical engineering, nuclear engineering.
Nuclear engineering, yes.
That's right. I'm still baffled at that.
Absolutely incredible. It's honestly a pleasure to have him on the roster. It's cool to see.
Big shout out to Dunkin' Donuts Coffee as well. There's nothing like running on Dunkin' at 8:30 in the morning now. 4:30 left to go in the first period. Huge shout out to our camera crew as well for keeping this going as well. They are here bright and early. Everyone's here bright and early. Spoke before the game, of course, with PA announcer Wade Minter in great spirits. On a diet as well. Has lost 34 pounds so far. Huge props to Wade Minter as well.
Pack defense looking strong so far. Again, the goalies have been putting up a great effort, but the defense needs to definitely step up a little bit so far. The attacks have been coming strong, and there have been plenty of shots on goal, although very few have found their targets thus far in this match. You have to imagine that both Ice Pack and the Midshipmen would like to see a lot more out of their offenses later in this game.
Everyone working hard so far here. Alfonsetti will go off the draw. Ellis Rushford now around the back. Now back out to the front. There's the Navy midshipman playing it. Now scored it back out to the front, of course, just wide of the puck.
Dangerous right there. Hutchison was not on the right side of the goal for that shot. Defense.
Tyler Alfonsetti now will go back to Trevor Merchant. Merchant on the breakaway. Almost there. Try to feed it back over to Alfonsetti. Misses that opportunity right there. Looks like we have our first penalty of the day. Not sure exactly who is sitting for the Pack. They're giving it to number 14. Last year, of course, that number was worn by Chris Wing. I believe, actually, that's Brendan Seppi in the box.
Tough to lose that versatility early here. Having a guy like Seppi who can, as you said, as the floater, who can play all those different positions, it's really key to sustaining this at every position so far.
Just wide now, Rushford behind the net. Navy trying to work it as well. We're back to the point. There's DeSelles. DeSalli's now. DeSalli's wearing a letter on his sweater for the Pack. For the midshipmen, rather. That's actually... DeSalli's is the captain today. Sam Banashevitz captaining the other team. Ryan Kinney still out as well for the Pack, and the puck is iced with 30 seconds left to go on the penalty. Now, concerning penalties last night, Logan, they killed about 80% of their penalties, the Ice Pack did.
Yes, Ice Pack looked very good on special teams, both on the power play and the penalty kill, which was a struggle in that first match. But seeing them bring it back in that second game of the weekend was a fantastic thing, and you definitely want to have continued success if you're the Ice Pack here in this third and final game of the Stephen Russell tournament.
Banashevitz lost it as Hudson will now bring it past the blue line. Cesaric getting opened in the slot. Stengel with the save. State kills the penalty. I was right indeed. That was Brandon Seppi taking a little bit of a spill near the bench. Coach Tim Healy now looks on. Coach Healy, of course, has been controlling special teams, and as of late, they've been looking great. The Ice Pack, of course, holding practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Very tough to balance their practice schedule and their game schedules, and, of course, their education. Yes. Many of the players are in some of our classes, Logan, and I talked to a lot of the guys that are always in high spirits. They love playing for this team. The charisma is always high.
Oh, absolutely. If you get to do what you love, and all of these guys love playing hockey, and if that's not evident through their play, it should be.
Anistertov with a bomb off the pad of Stengel and into the mesh with $1:39 left to go here in this period.
After those first 30 seconds, Stengel has definitely found his footing in that net. Going to wonder if when they switch nets, he might lose that, but so far, an absolutely wonderful performance from both goalies.
I'm not going to lie, Logan. There's a pretty decent crowd out here today.
I'm surprised, honestly, this early in the morning.
I would say there's a good 20 people maybe. If you can wake up for this game, God bless you. Now coming through the middle, there come the shipmen. Right there, that was Foskey. Foskey to the open slot in the middle. Banashevitz can't find it with a spring pass out to Jadala. Jadala on the breakaway. Can he add on to what he did last night? Jadala! Stengel with the score. No!
Jadala with the score there.
I did not see that one go in. Leith Jadala adds on to his torrential weekend so far. Off an amazing spring pass by Banashevitz on the breakaway as well.
Speaking of the goalie getting settled, I guess that was a little too soon. Still a fantastic period for him here. Letting in 2 goals, though, definitely want to shore that up. Defense had to be there, though. Jadala with a fantastic breakaway, though.
Ossenmacher with the pass intercepted there by Todd. Todd back out to the middle. Robinson left it for Halko. Todd left it for Johnson. Johnson back in the corner, winning a little bit of a corner battle. Johnson waiting for Todd. Alex Robinson. Through the middle, there's Johnson. Johnson tried to take it away with his stick. Jadala with another goal.
Jadala scoring in all 3 games in this tournament so far.
Banashevitz a point, a goal, and an assist on the day so far. Robinson now pushing it back forward. Robinson with Johnson trailing shortly behind in the face-off circle with 23 seconds left to go. Todd out in front for the tip in the slot. Can't get it off, and now the midshipman will take it back. Ossenmacher, of course, will take it forward with a clap bomb. No problem there for Hutchison. That was going to go over the net anyway. Just wanted to add a quick save to his stat sheet.
Definitely got to pad those stats.
Riley Johnson with another opportunity with 3 seconds to go here. Won't get a shot off. Great opportunity. Trying to bat it in. Honey, this isn't baseball. 2-1 here to finish off the first period. Logan, quick thoughts.
Ice Pack has looked very strong on offense so far. I mean, obviously, they have the lead on the scoreboard, but what you don't notice are the special teams. They've done a fantastic job in face-offs and especially on power plays and power kills so far. So they're definitely going to want to sustain that and continue that in the second period.
15 minutes until the next period as the teams head off for some minor repairs and strategy fixes. We'll be back really quickly after a quick commercial break for our intermission report right here on PackTV.
Huge first period here for the Pack. Zach Sawai here alongside Logan Ward. Amazing period, of course. Logan, really quickly, some quick thoughts on it. You said some before, but let's hear some more.
Jadala just continuing this amazing weekend. 5 goals throughout the Stephen Russell tournament. You can't ask for much more from him. He's done a fantastic job, as has the entire Ice Pack offense so far, up 2-1 against the midshipmen. They just need to continue the success. I can't say it enough. They have to keep the energy level high. This tournament is almost over.
Sam Banashevitz, of course, adding on to his torrential goal-scoring pace this year so far, scoring in almost every single game that he has been in. He's now on, I believe, a 5-game point streak, racking up points against West Virginia, adding a few assists over the weekend as well, getting, of course, the amazing goal in the first game against JMU, a goal last night after Jadala cleaned up a shot, also got a goal last night as well. All in all, goaltending performance so far, vastly better than last night, of course. But what do we see so far from Mitch Stengel, and more importantly, first-time starter this year, Ian Hutchison?
I think Stengel has done a fantastic job. A few lapses in focus right there at the end there. But that first goal, really, he just hadn't had time to settle, and his defense let them blow right by for that early goal in the first 30 seconds. Hutchison has done a fantastic job so far. You can't ask for much more than allowing only one goal. Hopefully you don't allow any more for the rest of the game.
Definitely as well. Mitch Stengel will be looking for the victory today, trying to lead the midshipmen back from a 1-4 record, trying to go 2-4 now, while as the Ice Pack don't want to go 4-1 on the year. Of course, now the Stephen Russell tournament will be ending today. Sadly, it's going to be a sad day for most of us. It's been a fun tournament, Logan, but obviously the teams need to get back on with their lives, with their regular schedules as well. Traveling next week, the Pack will be taking on Duke. Duke, of course, 0-2 on the tournament so far. Lost yesterday to the Navy midshipmen, 11-3. It's going to be an interesting competition next week for sure. We're going to take a quick break right here on PackTV, and we'll be right back to talk a little bit more about the last period and what to expect going forward. We'll be right back.
In season.
Back with you once again on this ungodly morning. It is Sunday, so it is pretty godly. Zach Salai alongside Logan Ward here, trying to recollect ourselves here to talk about the Ice Pack's amazing first period as well. Big body down the middle, and Nikita Anistertov. Talk briefly about his work today and what you've seen from the center depth.
He's done a fantastic job so far, whether that be the passes that he's got or the face-offs that he's been winning for the most part. The Ice Pack looks really good on the face-offs so far, and especially in those breakaways in the neutral zone, he's been a big factor in those.
Neutral zone was one thing we talked about as well just before the game today. What was one thing you saw today from the neutral zone? Any takeovers you particularly liked, or just overall thoughts on the neutral zone?
Overall, it's been a fantastic job. They've done a great job playing defense on transition, getting those breakaway steals and scores through that. So if they can continue doing that, success in the neutral zone will be key.
Fantastic morning for hockey as well. Of course, as we were talking about, this is the final game of the Stephen Russell tournament for the Ice Pack heading into the second here. What are any adjustments you have for the Pack in terms of scoring and everything like that? Seems like they got the scoring down pat. That first line, again, is acting like the savior of this team.
Absolutely. No, the front line has done a fantastic job so far. They just need to keep pace and really keep at it so far. There's not much more you can ask of them. Scoring 2 goals, you just need your defense to step up and allow nothing more to get through.
It's going to be a fantastic rest of the game today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with Puck Drop Dictionary. Logan, get to it, please. We'll be right back here on PackTV.
I want to welcome you back here to the Iceplex on this very early morning where the coffee seems to be getting to us here. Zach Salai alongside Logan Ward here. Some interesting fun fodder for the morning as well, looking at the Zambonis. Zambonis originally date back into the 1920s, of course, starting with the famous Olympia back in the Detroit hockey arena way back in the day. Something that, fans of the team back in the day when the original octopus was thrown on the ice, all the way back in the day, Olympias, Zambonis, everything like that. It is a hallowed hockey job for sure. Definitely one of the most relaxing things in the world, of course. Having a stressful day, come clean the ice. Amazing job as well. But having a fresh sheet of ice is so important as well. A lot of people that come to North Carolina say that the ice here is a little bit on the rougher side. But determining about ice, of course, it's the surface that hockey players play on. But how important do you think the ice is towards a team in terms of smoothness? And more importantly, since hockey is really a sport of luck, do you think the ice plays into that factors?
I think the ice definitely plays into those factors, but I don't think it's just a game of luck. It's definitely the skill. Parker Cesarek definitely fast on those skates. It depends on every other factor. The fresh ice is always important, yeah, but it's definitely more up to the players and what they can do on that ice. The freshness of the ice definitely has an impact starting out of the gate. You might see a little bit faster out of these skaters, especially since they've just come off a little bit of a rest here, 15 minutes in between periods as we get started for the second period here at the Iceplex.
Players haven't just left the locker room. Yesterday was a really good fan turnout yesterday. I saw several of young kids out here as well, enjoying the fans, enjoying the environment, of course, of the Ice Pack game. Several great opportunities there as well. Just a few quick things as well for your viewing information. We do recognize that our scoreboard clock is a little bit off the mark. We are working tirelessly every week to make sure we fix that to bring you closer into the pack. But for right now, I will try my best to be looking at the clock when the goals are scored to announce when the time of the goal was scored for your viewing pleasure. If any of you are doing college hockey fantasy, you know, fantasy is just so important. I mean, us here at our broadcasting station, we do several different fantasy leagues here as well, because the thing is, Logan, we are broadcasters in the end, but more importantly, we're fans of all the sports that we do broadcast. Logan here is an amazing fan of some of the more professional sports like football and everything like that, and I'm just here. I like a few guys skating around on skates every single day and trying to whack people. You know, it's okay. Everything is fine. As coaches now line up alongside the boards on the visitor side, the Ice Pack are home today in the Iceplex, but they will be listed. This will be listed as a road game as well, following, of course.
Well, you can't have the home advantage every time, but still definitely feels more like a home game since this is the home stadium of the Ice Pack. Navy midshipmen on some unfamiliar ice, despite the fact that they are listed as the home team on the scoreboard. Really does have a factor, this home crowd here for the Ice Pack. As we mentioned earlier, these fans showing out in support of this hockey team pretty consistently. Usually a very good turnout as the Ice Pack return to the ice here.
Daylight has finally struck the Iceplex. I can see the light coming through the tunnel there where the Zamboni heads off, of course. Might melt the snow. Still a relatively hot October for those of you watching from the Navy viewers as well, Navy fans heading out there. North Carolina has a very interesting type of weather, I want to call it. Basically, it's pretty much this. You go through summer 1, break, summer 2, about 3 winters, each increasing in severity, and then a sharp turnaround to spring with no warning in between. And this happens at random. Now, of course, our technical director, Brandon Boucher, did actually graduate with a degree in meteorology.
Yes.
He can tell you a lot more about this one day. Brandon, of course, serves as a guest commentator for some Ice Pack games as well. Amazing shout out to him as well, making sure that these broadcasts go smoothly. Huge thanks to him as well as the teams line up alongside the benches.
No, and seeing some of these yellow skates out, like we mentioned in the previous game, some of these players out here, they're going to lose those yellow shoelaces as this week concludes. A lot of new faces scoring some goals finally, getting their legs under them. This tournament, I think, is definitely going to be a turning point for the Ice Pack here.
Of course, Logan here is referring to the laces, in which it's an Ice Pack tradition, lacing up, of course, in the yellow skates. If they have not scored a goal in the ACCHL, with several guys have their laces on, even though they need to be taking them off. They may be doing that procedure, of course, before practice this week, as Anistratov loses the opening draw against Platino. Platino, of course, is a player that we did see last year. Jadala works his way around. Banishevich to Jadala. Back on front of Anistratov. Huge save by Stengel.
Fantastic job by the Ice Pack there, finding all the great passes that they could, just couldn't make something happen there. Stengel doing a wonderful job at protecting the net.
Devin Halko just wide. Laith Jadala still working at it. Now back to the front. Jadala to the front. Jadala with a huge shot. Pad stop there by Mitch Stengel. Stengel looking sharp so far. At least 10 saves from him so far. 2 saves. 2 goals against, rather, tonight. Anistratov to the far side. Anistratov with the shot off of the pad of Stengel. Back up to the top. Hudson with the shot. Stengel again looking much better than he did in the first, Logan.
Absolutely. No, and this Ice Pack attack has been absolutely incredible so far. Getting everything that they can trying to get something to go past Stengel. Stengel having none of it so far in this second period.
Waiting for the opening draw here. Well, the second opening draw, rather, with about 45 seconds in. Eric Todd now back. Ian O'Rourke with a shot. Cherry picking.
Wonderful save there by Stengel, just using the glove to pluck that one right out of the air. Not much that O'Rourke could really do about that one. Just a fantastic save.
Banashevitz and Jadala, of course, with the goals today. Banashevitz with an assist on that one as well. Eric Mura had a good game last night as well, registering an assist here for the Pack heading into this one. Pretty interesting to watch as the Pack are listed as the away team, but are wearing their traditional black home jerseys, laced up with red and white. Some nice ribboning done there from the Pack. The Navy today are dressed up in their white with blue trim attire. To the front of the net, Robinson misses on the shot. Of course, uniforms are some of the best things to be looking at. Mura now with an opportunity through the neutral zone, just wide. Mura now at the far corner with a quick shot, just wide of the goal there. Ian O'Rourke now will defend on 2-on-1 with Mura with the quick back shot. Quick shot there, I believe coming, that was Emmett Jenkins. Hutchison way out of the cage there. Just wanted to get it away from the net there. Eric Todd. Todd tried to make a chip pass up to Robinson. Someone got in the way.
Definitely a concerning play for Hutchison there. Just got knocked out of the net, but the defense doing a fantastic job to at least hold their ground until they could get back on track.
O'Rourke just wide. Now carrying it forward are the Shipmen. There goes Jacob Barbario. Puck goes past Barbario, back for Kima. Kima, a big skater as well. Moving it through the middle. Now brushing up. There comes Ossenmacher. I'm sorry, that is Ostrowski. Still getting these numbers right for everybody. Zach Solai here alongside Logan Ward. Ellis Rushford at about 17:30 left to go here in the second period. Ostrowski having the big game yesterday, getting 4 goals against the Duke Blue Devils. Cesarek just wide. Alfonsetti out in front in the middle. Just sent out wide. Emmett Jenkins now with the opportunity to bring it back.
Looks like he was expecting someone to be there for the Ice Pack. Sometimes you just have a few of those errant passes.
Huge body down by Ostrowski. No call on that play. A little bit of an interference call there. Mazikowski had the opportunity to get it out, and Merchant now with the shot behind the net. Mazikowski to Cesarek in the corner. And now carrying it. Something is called a hand pass, if I'm correct on that call.
Looks like that is, in fact, the call. Rushford definitely not going to take that assault lightly.
9 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's probably at church. Great morning for that as well. But if you're tuning into this game as well, huge thanks for the support of the Ice Pack and, of course, everyone here at the game, at the broadcast crew. Pretty much everybody who is taking part today is in huge gratitude to your support. I want to welcome all the Navy fans who will be tuning into the stream tonight and a little bit later, or if you're tuning in now, well, what are you doing up? I mean, if you guys are up usually early in the morning, that's fantastic. We really want to thank you for joining us today. Banashevitz is at the top. Power play now with a quick shot just over the top. Stayed on the power play in the box. I believe I see a number 28. That's number 29, actually. At the PNC Arena, we weren't actually able to see the numbers listed on the scoreboard about who was getting a penalty.
Yes.
Able to see it here. Getting the penalty today registered was Garrett Hamilton on defense as well.
Ice Pack been struggling with penalties over this tournament weekend, despite the fact that they've won 2. Ricocheting that off of the top wall. No net there to protect the back of that one. Fans definitely need to watch their heads.
That actually may be Joe Crowley. I was able to speak with the Navy coach before the game, and he was talking to me about how these guys have really worked hard, and the roster today is pretty set up. Banashevitz now. Banashevitz, Rushford with a quick bomb just hit a guy out in front. Defending that well was Anthony Placino.
Mazikowski and Rushford going to take this back and hope to try to reset a little bit.
Navy coach Scott Steele is icing first a line of Anthony Placino and Kevin Harris on that top power penalty kill unit, rather.
Yes.
And hanging out there on defense is Michael Foskey and I believe Sal Ciopolo.
Harris having that first goal in the first period for the midshipmen, of course. one of the more prominent attackers for this midshipman team.
Winning that draw was Mark Hansen. Hansen, not a traditional center. Robinson still hanging it in at the blue line. Great job from him. Robinson now sends a back pass to Eric Mura. Mura now trying to find an open man. Pack players are spreading all out, not crashing in the net like we did see last night.
Yes.
Eric Todd back up to Robinson. Robinson over wide open net there for O'Rourke and can't get the shot off. O'Rourke trying to add some powdered sugar to his muffins today. O'Rourke now with the quick shot just over the top of the cage. Eric Todd putting the moves. Waiting. Has an open man in Johnson. Tamira out in front, crashing the net. Something we've seen from him before, Logan.
Yes, absolutely. No, and we've talked about the crashing the net at length before.
Robinson with a quick shot. Stopped there by Stengel.
Stengel continuing this fantastic showing for him, letting in those 2 goals in the first period, but nothing yet so far in the third, despite the fact that we're only about 5 minutes in here. He's looked very good. Defense needs to help him out a little bit more as the Ice Pack continue this excellent attack so far.
Of course, Ian Hutchison getting the start today. Jess Hart last night. When did we see Joey Hall?
I think you see Joey Hall next game, honestly. He's listed as your starting goalkeeper, but the fact that you can play your second and third goalies without much drop-off in play and occasional upticks in play, as we have a fantastic juke move right there on the ice. Don't see that very often. But still, having those 3 goalies that you can all trust is essential to everything right now.
Navy, of course, will not be having their next game until next week. Waiting, of course, to see who will be playing in that game. They have a strong goaltending setup as well. Nicholas Gordon, one of their newer goaltenders, is coming into this game as well. Last year, the most familiar face that the Ice Pack crew remembers was Mitch Stengel, a goaltender that did play last year, led in 5. Mura now behind the cage. Cross-ice pass. Springs Robinson almost on a breakaway, but Robinson can't quite get his stick on that biscuit. Robinson now behind the cage. Robinson now defended well there. That was Ossenmacher. Ossenmacher in the corner. Robinson has it again with a quick shot off the side of the net. Good body there, right there by Stengel. Now behind the net, crossing it out in front to O'Rourke. O'Rourke with the shot. Swallowed whole there by Stengel.
Stengel just fantastic job on the positioning. Enough can't be said about his goaltending so far. Defense letting him down at times so far, but he's managed to keep his confidence up and keep it together despite those early 2 goals in the first period.
Ice Pack fans are crowding here on the bleachers, more closer to Wade Minter as the power play ends for State, unable to capitalize. Doing a great job last night, going 2 for 4, I am very certain, maybe 2 for 3. A little bit difficult to count penalties. But now trying to chip that forward, that was Austin Hogan. Now back to the middle. There's Drugan, it's taken away. There they go. Hansen to the open man. Can't quite find it. That was D's.
Midshipmen just can't capitalize on these opportunities that they're creating for themselves. They're having the breakaway opportunities, but if it weren't for the play of Stengel, this could be a very different game right now.
Vedetta with a good quick shot, and it stopped well by Stengel. With about 13:33 left to go, 3 threes in a row. Tic-tac-toe.
Special teams been a big factor for the Ice Pack here early going this morning. Winning a majority of these face-offs, it seems, so far, and doing well on both the power plays and penalty kills.
Face-offs, of course, are at a premium, as we talked about, Logan, in the past. Taking a little bit of a slip up there on the back, that was DeCellis, the captain for the Navy midshipmen this year. Coming into yesterday, of course, the stats looking for Navy were not that amazing. Of course, not a lot of players had goals, losing, of course, in Game 1 of the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament, 1-0 to Kentucky. At the back now, there's Hudson with his partner in Devin Halko. Looking to see, of course, if these lineups stay the same for State over the course of this season. Navy, of course, has a strong core that they look to keep as well. Off the blocker of Mitch Stengel. Hudson now with a huge body hit right there on Mark Hansen. Not exactly a booming hit, but enough to shove him off the puck.
You have to wonder about this lineup especially. This is about the second time that they're going with only a goalie change really to note. But you do have to wonder if Joey Hall is going to see more playing time of these 3 goalies that we've seen so far, or if they're going to favor Tart.
looking for Tard as well. The Ice Pack have 4 goaltenders on their roster as Alfonsetti. Now with the power move to the front of the net, can't quite send it home right there.
Good defense by the midshipman to deter Alfonsetti right there.
Cesarek out in front. Alfonsetti can't get the shot off. Halko keeping it in the zone. Devin Halko just around the boards. And Parker Cesarek now has an opportunity to make something happen. And a penalty will be called. A hook. Was speaking a little bit before about goaltenders in general, Pack going on power play here.
Yes.
You got 4 goaltenders on the roster. You got Josh Cannon, who served as the primary backup last year. Ian Hutchison was the third string behind those 2.
Yes.
And now Jess Hart comes in with the same goaltending core. What does this mean? Do they have 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D? Or do they have several backups going forward?
I'd say that it's honestly more of the former than the latter. The fact that you can trust all of these goalies in games that are as important as the Stephen Russell tournament. Talking with Coach Gazzillo, he wants to win this tournament. I mean, that's always the goal going in, of course. But still, having 3 goalies that you can trust to give you the best opportunity to win, and probably even trust Cannon with that. It's an amazing feeling to have that.
Rushford at the point. Rushford with the shot just out in front. Ostrowski will get the clear. Coach Gazzillo, of course, really wants to make sure that not only his team wins the tournament, it's always a little bit of a fun thing, but they're more looking for points in the standings, always the bigger goal as well. Cam Mazakowski now will handle it back at the point, trying to look for the open man. Rushford does a great job handling that one as well. Rushford over to Banashevitz with a shot. Normally that would go in. That's Banishevitz's office right there. Put a little nameplate right there for him. But still can't find the net.
Nothing so far for him in this second period. The Ice Pack attack has looked very strong, however.
Anistratov. Big save by Stengel.
Looks like we do have another penalty for the midshipmen.
I do believe you are... No, it looks like that player was heading off to the bench right there, but there's still 1:09 left to go, and the original penalty taken looks like in the box. That was Michael Foskey. A 2-minute minor for hooking. Midshipmen today have been able to kill penalties today.
Yes, absolutely. No, and the special teams ever important. State has to take better advantage of these power plays and the opportunities that they're given by the midshipmen and their lapse of focus. But nothing doing so far on the power plays.
Riley Johnson trying to find the open man, and there he goes. Ian O'Rourke off to the side. Riley Johnson now looking for an open man. There's Eric Todd. Eric Todd now in the corner, circling the wagons. Riley Johnson to the front of the net. Can't quite find it. Ian O'Rourke. Rourke looks for the shot, just off somebody. Couldn't see who got off that one. 15 seconds left to go on the power play. Ian O'Rourke now with a good juke move, body down strong there. That was Anthony Placino. Johnson to the front. Robinson with a quick shot, can't find it. With the rebound off the pad of Mitch Stengel.
Stengel doing a wonderful job, as always, here in net.
Mira keeps it in. There's Robinson to the front of the net, just wide. And now it will be cleared out once again by Placino. Back out to the front. They're going to keep it on the rush. There's Schumann. Schumann with a battle with O'Rourke. Battled in the corner as well.
Midshipman defense doing a great job of crowding up that area in front of the goal, making those shots harder to get. Really, we didn't see who it ricocheted off of because there were that many defenders right there that could have been the candidate that it ricocheted off of.
Schumann, of course, the Minnesota native, Minnesota Wild, one of the more famous teams to come out of that area as well. The Minnesota North Stars, of course, relocating to Dallas to become the Dallas Stars back in the day. There's Johnson. Offside will be called on that play with 9:12 left to go here. The second period is usually where the game starts happening, Logan. Have we seen anything in this period?
Absolutely not. We've seen a lot more of the same, honestly. Continued great goal play from Hutchison and Stengel. But really, the offensives have struggled, and the defenses have allowed the goalies really to shine. As stated, the midshipmen doing a wonderful job of crowding the net, whereas the Ice Pack have really been more on the offensive, keeping their possession of the puck for the majority of the time and keeping the pressure off of their defense.
Trevor Merchant now working it forward. Tyler Alfonsetti, rather. Parker Cesarek now with a shot. Stengel, cherry picking, of course, like it's summer. Fruit season, though, as always, and good season here. Logan, And these goaltenders sure do love fruit season. They're always cherry picking, love to grab those apples, especially the players, of course. Hockey terminology states that an apple is usually, I believe, an assist, with the goal as being another fruit. We'll find out that shortly.
I believe that's correct.
Hudson now. Hudson at the point. Hudson with a quick shot just wide. Now we're... Yep.
Ice Pack doing a wonderful job here so far on the attack, getting the shots off, just nothing really on point and nothing really that Stengel hasn't been able to stop so far.
Now moving it forward. There come the midshipmen rushing it up the ice. That was Barbario. He lost the puck. And now moving it back up. Back at that point there. Looks like that was DeCelles. And the Pack will be going down in a high sticking call. Alfonzetti saying some words that we will not be allowed to repeat here. For sure. Honestly, though, Logan, the referees do have the most frustrating job on the ice as well. They have to make calls whatever they see. And at the end of the day, they got to do what is right, and not everyone's going to like the calls at most times.
No, the refs aren't the nice guys out here. They're just enforcing the rules. Alfonzetti with the high stick there. You feel for the refs because they do have to call these whether the fans like them or not.
Talk about State's penalty kill today. How are they improving from last night? Any statistics also you may have, Logan, especially going into today. Penalty kill needs to be better. Last night was good, killing off 80%. What have they done today that has stood out to you?
More of the same for the most part, honestly. I don't have the figures exactly for the penalty kill or the power play, but they've done a fantastic job on the penalty kill. Not so much on the power play as the Navy midshipmen have had several players in the box. State nothing going really for the most part on those power plays, but still a fantastic job on special teams. Everything in the neutral zone has been wonderful for them so far, and they've gotten plenty of breakaway opportunities.
Navy going over 2 on the power play, if I am not mistaken. We'll get that verified shortly. That first goal, of course, was scored when Ian Hutchison was sort of found a little bit out of his cage. Couldn't do much about that defensively, a little bit of a breakdown. Now hanging on to it at the point with a quick shot, Hutchison with the easy glove saves. Taking the shot there was first-line defenseman Owen Norton.
Majority of these saves coming from the goalie's gloves so far. Really interesting to see because majority of the time you'll see it bounce off the pads, but they've done a wonderful job in just catching these out of the air.
Norton, a Massachusetts native. Massachusetts, of course, a very good hockey place. And Salopolo on the top power play unit. Salopolo now hanging up at the top. Sending it just wide was Hansen. Hansen now hanging on to it behind the cage. Working it, there's Placino. Interesting setup being put on here by Navy. With a quick shot, body down well by Mura. Mura, of course, the big two-way defender coming from UNC Charlotte, a transfer. Mura now coming around the back. He loses the puck, bodied into the corner.
Good defense there.
Teams are piling in for the rest of the tournament as well. Several of these players, part of their pregame ritual is standing on the boards. No, not on them, more like behind them, because if they were standing on them, that'd be a balancing act.
Yes.
Standing in front of them, watching the games that go on.
We have to scout the opponents, and seeing the teams that you might be playing later this year is going to be key in strategizing for what you might have to do in the future. It's a great opportunity to see the Ice Pack and the midshipmen at their best as we see this game continue with about 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second period.
9 seconds left to go in the penalty to Tyler Alfonzetti as well. If you're just tuning in, Zach Sawai here alongside Logan Ward bringing you live action on PackTV. Sam Banashevitz now in the corner. Pressed hard by Sam Calapolo, but is cleared back out, and now rushing through the middle. There comes Placino. Placino over to Hansen. Hansen with a shot, glove down, no problem there for Hutchison. And the penalty is now killed. Over 3 on the day for the shipmen.
Yes.
Logan, we got to talk about this. In terms of the Navy midshipmen, it looks like their best opportunities are going to come on special teams. The Ice Pack has a very strong offense this year. Do we see them breaking down during the penalty kill?
During these penalty kills, I wouldn't say there's so much breaking down as playing more defensive during that period of time. Sure, they might not have the offense that they really want when they're at full strength, but that's just a result of their penalty kill strategy, I believe.
Navy's power play today, of course, has not seen Luke Ostrowski take the ice. A very interesting move done by Navy head coach Scott Steele. Waiting to see where Ostrowski fits in. Ostrowski, of course, had 4 goals yesterday against Duke.
Yes.
The team's most potent scorer as of late. Still icing the top unit, though, of Placino and Hansen on that top power play unit.
I expect to see much more of Ostrowski.
Now bringing it forward. There come the Shipmen. Just through the middle right there, there's Barberio. Barberio with a wide-out shot. Comes back in. Now at the point there's Crowley. Bodied down there by Anisratov, the big-bodied center from... has Russian backgrounds, obviously, with a name like Anisratov. Devin Halko now hanging on to it.
Anisratov, again, that big-bodied center, so important to this team with Bieberdorf leaving. Wonderful to see Anisratov being able to step in so smoothly and transition this team into the next.
Jadala, power move to the front, just wide.
Narrow miss right there. Had Stengel right where he wanted him. Managed to get right past the defense. Just couldn't sink it right.
Now carry forward. There's Ostrowski. Ostrowski, a guy that we've been talking about, Logan. Now back to the corner. Banashevitz beats out Hudson for the foot race. And now all the way back at the point, settle it down, was DeSalle. He's trying to clear it back in. A lot of nothing here, Logan. I'm not going to lie to you.
A very back and forth effort for the Midshipmen and Ice Pack so far. But nothing really of note. Despite plenty of penalties from both sides, honestly. A little bit of sloppy play from both defenses, but the goalies especially have been the 2 stars of today's game.
Todd, of course, tried to spring Jadala on that breakaway. Couldn't quite find it as Todd's true line mates now comes on. Todd now filling in as the second line center for the Pack. Little interesting move. In the very first game against the James Madison Dukes, they had Todd on the 4th line, now moving up to the 2nd. Of course, now as Anisha Todd takes over as the team's first line center. In the beginning of the game, they liked to put Jadala at center, but then they shifted over to Anisratov, which is a little bit of an interesting move by Coach Gazzillo.
Absolutely, but again, that comes down to the versatility of these players and the different positions that you can plug them in at and in the different situations.
Banashevitz, of course, a strong finisher. Jadala, a little bit more of a sniper, and Anisratov is seen as the big-bodied playmaker down the middle. That's a tantalizing line for sure. Now carried back, there's Robinson. Johnson in the corner. It's Robinson out in front with a shot, and Stengel again with the save. 3:49 left to go here in the second period. And goalies have become the story of this game here, Logan.
Oh, most certainly. Stengel and Hutchison have really just dominated this game. The offense is not doing a poor job, many of their shots being on goal, but nothing doing past Hutchison or Stengel as these 2 goalies continue to dominate the game.
Riley Johnson sends it just wide. Cam Mazikowski, of course, recording a goal last night. Ellis Rusher, the team leader in penalty minutes, is out there right now, paired up with Cam. Now Robinson to the front. Robinson pushing it through. Robinson with a quick shot. Tried to go glove side high, but Stengel had him dead to rights. Mazikowski with a bomb off the mask, I believe, of Stengel. Rusher now will try to push it forward. Can't quite get there, but Robinson wins the foot race against, I believe that's Schumann battling in the back. That was DeSalle's, my apologies. Robinson still trying to move forward. Robinson chips it over the shoulder of Silopolo, paired up right now with Foskey. DeSalles is currently on the bench with a quick shot just over the boards. Rushford there to pick it up. Johnson finds Rushford. Rusher still looking for an open man, trying to find somewhere to go on the ice. Can't quite get to the slot. Navy pressuring very well, keeping the Ice Pack out of their usual shooting zone, rather. Robinson with the toe drag. Robinson just over the blocker of Mitch Stengel. Johnson tried to poke it away there, still couldn't get it.
Fantastic job by the Ice Pack here, just sustaining this attack, trying to get the time possession to continue trending in their favor here.
Mazikowski will not be taking a penalty on that play. That was a little bit funny. He shot that puck out and then just banged his stick on the boards. I believe that was out of frustration or a little bit of a follow-up. Might have slipped there. Coach Gazzillo can't keep a straight face. Turns away now. Had to take a little bit of a breather there. Coach Healy, of course, laughing as well. I mean, what can you do? It's 9 in the morning.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, this is just a fun game for these guys. Sure, the competition and everything is extremely important as well, but they're having fun doing what they love.
Tyler Alfonsetti now back. Eric Mura now sends it quickly forward. Alfonsetti now at the side of the boards. 3 men from the Ice Pack are hanging on alongside the boards, alongside some of the lines from the Navy midshipmen. That's the third line right out there for the midshipmen. It looks like they have changed up the lines a little bit. Ryan Samtois is now on the third line with Lucas Strowski and Emmett Jenkins. Delayed penalty for the midshipmen, as the play is called. Let's see what it is. Seems to be pointing at Lucas Strowski for a trip.
Seemed to be the call right there. And you see Hutchison trying to get off the ice as soon as they see the penalty called.
High sticking call, my apologies.
But seeing Hutchison trying to get off so they can get that extra attacker, knowing that they have the midshipmen right where they want them, with the midshipmen losing possession of the puck with the penalty.
Nishatov will win the draw. Mura sends it over to O'Rourke. A interesting combination for this power play unit. Might want to see Cam Mazakowski and Ellis Rushford. Do take frequent penalties, but the team's most often scores. He scores! Ian O'Rourke with a little bit of sauce in his spaghetti in this very early morning. 3-1 NC State.
Fantastic shot by O'Rourke there. O'Rourke definitely not one of the crashing type here on the scores, preferring to shoot from the outside, definitely paying off as he managed to just fit it right past the upper left shoulder of Stengel.
If I'm not mistaken, that's his first of the year. He did shoot one last night, but
yes,
it may have been deflected out in front. They did end up changing a few of the goals last night, of course. But
yes,
nonetheless, Ian O'Rourke puts the Pack ahead to a very dangerous 2-goal lead, something that the Pack have not seen yet this year.
No. They've done a fantastic job so far here. That again, it's just this sustained attack. I can't emphasize enough how important that is. But the fact that they've got shot after shot coming at Stengel.
On the breakaway, pushing in. There they go with the shot. Hutchison stands tall. Well, lays down flat.
Making plays all game long. Hutchison has done a wonderful job here so far, allowing only one goal in the first period. Nothing so far here in the second for the midshipmen.
Placino again with the strong pressure, beating out some of the Ice Pack defenders. O'Rourke, I think, lost himself there. Usually after a goal, you go through a couple minutes, most likely, of thinking about the goal, and you lose your footing almost, and that seemed to what happened to O'Rourke. They're losing the battle against Placino.
No, and that may be what happened, and especially coming off of that goal, still basking in the glow of it, needing an opportunity just to rest, and that may be why the midshipmen came out attacking so aggressively.
Hudson hanging on. Back at the Johnson in the front. Johnson with the power move. Out in front. Robinson can't find anything. Hudson can't get the rebound. Ian O'Rourke being the answer on the power play for the Pack so far today. Getting a first one. 2-on-1. Robinson with Johnson. Johnson over with the short drag. He scores! Fly into that one, why don't you? 9:30 in the morning. The Pack are up by 4 off an amazing shot by Riley Johnson.
Riley Johnson, again, having such a strong couple of games here to start the season for the Ice Pack here. Definitely one of the more exciting players to watch out here on the ice. A dominant player when he's on.
8th of the year for Johnson as well, off an amazing pass from Alex Robinson, scoring 2 goals last night. Looking for the hat trick, couldn't quite get it. But Johnson now will be able to say that he has 8 goals as an Ice Pack member, leading the team currently in points and goals. Sam Benishevitz taking that lead in assists.
Johnson, of course, with the overtime winner in the first game of the Stephen Russell tournament against the George Washington Colonials.
Now in the corner, controlling it. Back into the corner is the Shipman. Now back up to the point with the quick shot. Hutchison can't quite get to it. It's just wide. Foskey with the final shot blocked out in front by Todd, and that's the period. 4-1. Logan, offensive explosion yet again.
Yes, especially in those final minutes in the second period. The offense just figured out the midshipman defense, it felt, and got a couple shots past Stengel. Hutchison holding strong, doing a fantastic job as we see the Ice Pack leave the ice here.
4-1 here heading into the second intermission. Logan will be joined by assistant coach Tim Healy following the break here. We'll be sure to talk about some of all the happenings that have happened in this period and around the tournament right here on PackTV. We'll see you soon.
Big second period here for the Pack as now they dominate 4-1 here at the Raleigh Iceplex at a very early morning start here. Zach Sawaya alongside Logan Ward, of course. Logan, that was an amazing period. Just to fill you in, of course, that was Ian O'Rourke's first goal on home ice. Last night, he did end up shooting one and got corrected to where he got the assist on that play. But today was his first goal on home ice. Logan, is Ian O'Rourke the solution on the very streaky power play for the Ice Pack?
Oh, he's definitely one of the key contributors. His long shots being a key component of their offense. Again, on that goal that got corrected, he did have the shot. It just ricocheted off of Jadala just right, so that Jadala got credit for that with the hat trick.
Ian Hutchison as well, playing a strong game today thus far. What have you seen from him in general in his first start this year?
He's just done a wonderful job all around, especially with the glove saves, plucking them out of the air. There's not much more you can ask for from Hutchison. Really, just you hope that he can continue this in the third period.
Now compare that to Stengel. Stengel, of course, has had to deal with a lot of the defensive lapses that Navy has contributed to. What have you seen from Stengel? Has he been able to keep this team in the game, or does Navy need to push even harder in this final period?
I believe Stengel has definitely kept them in the game, but he did struggle in the late second period there, allowing those 2 goals to get past, although the defense did him no favors there. O'Rourke just fitting that one right past his shoulder. He's got to step it up a little bit, but he's the only reason that this team is still in the game.
The Pack are up 4-1 right now, up by 3 goals, definitely better than a 2-goal lead so far. We'll be right back with assistant coach Tim Healy right here on PackTV.
Week of rest coming up, but they've still got their own schoolwork to keep up with. So with their busy schedules, just getting them whatever rest they can going into this week.
Duke is a struggling team as well, roster-wise, coming into this year. Very struggling as well. What can we expect against a Duke team who did lose yesterday 11 to 13 or 13 to 4, whatever it may be. It was a high-scoring game here, Logan.
All right. Well, I expect to see a lot of scoring from the Pack because their offense is that high-powered. They've got a lot of scoring potential. They've got a lot of players who can just score at will. So I expect to see against a Duke team that hasn't really shown their defensive chops, I expect to see a lot of scoring from the Ice Pack.
Talk a little bit about Navy today thus far, of course. It is fall time, of course, here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Great time for great seasons, of course. But the biggest thing here today, Logan, is that the Navy have been struggling today, obviously. What do they need to do scoring-wise heading into the third period?
They've just definitely got to pick up their game. They've got to count on Stengel to give them their saves, but they need their defense to step up as well, giving them those breakaway possessions that they need to try to get it past Hutchison here in the third period.
We're awaiting Coach Healy to come up and talk to Logan here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he'll be up. If not, we'll join you back at Puck Drop for the third period right here on PackTV.
I think the best thing about the morning, Logan, is that you can choose what you can have for breakfast.
Food always on the mind here.
Food is always on the mind, especially for these players about to feel very hungry after a long game in the morning here. Of course, nutrition would recommend, as Alice Rushford would put it, since he is the nutrition major on this team. Protein, something to help you recover. But some of these guys, I know for a fact, Dunkin' Donuts may sound very good to most of these guys. Dunkin' Donuts, of course, was definitely a huge bonus for the broadcast crew this morning. It was very good, Logan.
Not sponsored, though.
Not sponsored. Just saying that just because. No problem in that at all, but still. Sam Benishevitz, Nikita Anistratov, and Laith Jadala lineup, of course. Hopefully we'll be eating healthy as the season goes on to keep the legs fresh. Now, going back at the point, there's Seppi. Seppi back over to O'Rourke. Seppi now lining up with O'Rourke instead of Mura. Another quick lineup change for Gazillo and crew.
Can see a little bit of the extra speed out there on the ice with the fresh sheet out there.
Benishevitz got cut up high with the stick. I believe they will be calling something on that one. Benishevitz talking with the linesman to figure out what's going on. Looks like it's a minor injury. Do see a little bit of a blotch of red on the back of his neck, maybe from a stick or a puck infraction right there. Wouldn't be surprised, but he still lines up back in his office. He seems to be just fine. Seppi with a wide wrister. Glove down there by Stengel.
Stengel just absolutely ready for that one.
Surprisingly strong turnout here this morning as well. fans are lining in. Look at that. Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Looks like even more people are filing in for this third period.
For sure. Especially the fans, of course, the families and friends of Sam Banashevitz and Matt Costigan are in front of us as well. Very exciting to see family support here for this very early morning matchup. A grind for sure. Laith Jadala to the front. Anish Chertov couldn't find the back of it. Anish Chertov to the front. Anish Chertov still working alongside the boards. The battle is won there by Ryan Deese. The second line now out for Sam Steele's team. Rather, Scott Steele's team with the Navy midshipmen. Looks like that play was called offside. They're moving the face-off all the way down to the other end. Might have been an icing. Not exactly sure what may have occurred there. Looks like it'll be the middle dot.
Appears there's going to be a platoon swap for both teams here as they get fresh bodies out here on the ice.
Add that to the dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. Platoon swap. First we had a adaji last night, I believe was the word. And now platoon swap. Is this a hockey broadcast or is this an SAT prep session? The world may never know. Welcome to PackTV's broadcast of this morning's game. Zach Selwaya here alongside Logan Ward, the vocab whiz. Ellis Rushford trying to battle in the corner, loses that battle with Ostrowski. Ostrowski, of course, having a 4-goal game yesterday. A little bit silent today. Ellis Rushford, body down. They're going to get him on that.
Rushford just a little too aggressive on that. Little unnecessary there with the check there.
Interference call on that one. Rushford kind of confused. Honestly, I would be too here, Logan. That looked like it was a clean hit, had the puck. But still, interference for most hockey fans that don't exactly know. There's usually about a 3-second grace time where once the puck leaves your presence, rather, if you choose to hit a guy after the 3 seconds, then it's an interference call because you can't do that. That's eliminating opportunities, and you only want to make sure you finish your check on the guys that have the puck.
Rushford, easily the most penalized player from the Ice Pack in this tournament.
Tyler Alfonsetti on a breakaway, 2-on-1 with Trevor Merchant. Alfonsetti with the shot, he scores! Tyler Alfonsetti, 4.0 GPA, 4.0 lead so far. 18:27 left to go into third period. Pack up 5-1.
Fantastic shot there by Alfonsetti, just taking advantage of the breakaway right there. Had the opportunity to pass, but instead decided to take the shot himself, and it definitely paid off for him right there.
Short-handed goal as well, something we have not seen from the Pack so far. The overtime winner the other night was actually a short-handed goal from Riley Johnson, so the Pack are not unfamiliar with scoring while down a man. To the front of the net, couldn't find anybody. Alfonsetti with Merchant once again. Merchant still surveying the ice. Tired legs from last night, of course, but Alfonsetti finds a way to break through. Defending him well, that is Foskey. Foskey still on Tyler Alfonsetti.
Alfonsetti doing a wonderful job on the offensive side here as he's swapped off here.
Alfonsetti, of course, I believe that's one of his first or seconds of the year. Now working through the middle, that is Placino. Placino around the back, taken again. Net came off the moorings there. I thought there was going to be another penalty taken there, honestly.
Could easily call one, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, at this rate, pretty much anything. It's just like in football, the refs have a hard job now with determining what roughing the passer may be.
Yes.
The rules have changed so much in sports nowadays.
No, and it's all about player safety. A lot of these rules may be complicated, but the original thought is with player safety in mind and trying to make these games safer for these players and allow them to play for longer.
Several players as well suffering from post-concussion syndrome. There was several NHL players as well. I can't remember exactly who the name was, but there have been sleepless nights by many players because of post-concussion syndrome. Definitely player safety at a premium. Eric Todd tried to chip it ahead with his skate. Couldn't quite find it as Devin Halko will control it with Davis Hudson flanking him on his right. Hudson. Some kids playing some catch the soccer ball in the stands in front of us. Pre-game warm-up there for the West Virginia team who will be skating virtually right after this game after the Zamboni cleans the ice. Teams so far have not been skating on clean ice to start the game. The Zamboni does not come on in between. They do skate on what they call dirty ice.
Fresh sheet of ice that we had early this morning, though. First game of the day.
Eric Todd through the middle. Eric Todd bodies it down. Eric Todd with the backhand shot just over the top of the cage. Penalty now over for Ellis Rushford.
Rushford returning here. Again, penalty, something that this Ice Pack team will want to eliminate, something they definitely need to talk about going forward as they look towards the Duke game.
Banners hang across the rafters here at the Iceplex, as we talked about before. Several NHL teams line up the rafters. American flag and Canadian flag sit proudly next to the scoreboard here at the Raleigh Iceplex, as it's controlled in the corner by Crowley. Not exactly sure if that's Crowley. Some of the teams in the ACCHL opt to not have names on the backs of sweaters. For most of the sports PackTV commentates, most of the teams end up choosing jersey numbers right before the game.
Yes.
But for the most part, hockey likes to keep their jersey numbers consistent. Vedetta now will chip it forward to Costigan. Costigan gets the puck lost in his skates. You need a GPS finder for that puck. Vedetta now flies into the other end of the ice, lacing up with red skates today.
Looks like there will be a call there as we have a face-off. Costigan lining up for the Ice Pack on this one.
5-on-5, Eric Mira, Ian O'Rourke out for the Ice Pack's defensive unit. Out for Coach Scott Steele is Luke Ostrowski, and the rest of the third line with Jacob Barbario and Emmett Jenkins. That line back again. A little bit of a situation once again, as Ryan Samtois was originally on that third line. Scott Steele, of course, has led his team to a 1-4 record thus far, trying to improve on that record. Navy is consistently known for their hard-working ethic. Today has shown up, but the Ice Pack have just come out as the better team. There's always the question of, are they doing good or are we doing bad? In this situation, I believe, and Logan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Ice Pack today are just doing good.
Ice Pack are doing a fantastic job. Very little that the midshipmen have been able to do to really do anything against this attack from the Ice Pack. Through no fault of their own, their defense has been decent, but there's just been too many opportunities given to the Ice Pack, and they've made the best of them.
Anistertov to the back. Anistertov trying to work away that puck taken away by number 29.
Cross to the middle, but there was nobody there.
Back to the middle there. Banishevitz trying to take that puck away. Can't find it in the slot of the Navy midshipman. Then now carried forward. There goes Kevin Harris. First line seems to be back out with Anthony Placino and Strom Ossenmacher. Now carrying it forward is Harris. Harris bodied down by Mura, using his big frame to block off any opportunity. Now pushing it forward. It seems like they got Ryan Samswell on that first line as well, unless they're in the midst of a change. Kevin Harris now heading off. It looks like it is the fourth line on the ice. Sam Banishevitz now working it slowly behind the cage. To the front, Anistertov can't find any hope there, as it's pressured hard by Laith Jadala. Jadala, of course, with a goal today. Jadala trying to find Banishevitz with a one-timer to the front of the net, defended well by team captain Jake DeSelles, and a penalty will be called.
Midshipmen very sloppy with their defensive effort for the majority of the game, honestly. Several incidents of penalties.
Tripping call will be called on the Navy midshipmen as well. On Owen Norton, first-line defenseman for this team. A big loss. How important is it to have defense on the lineup?
Having your starting defense out there is essential. As we see from this Ice Pack team, the defense side of things has really been key to this game, allowing them to take this 5-1 lead. If it weren't for the efforts of Hutchison and several of the defensive lines, we wouldn't be at this point in the game right now.
Schumann in a foot race with Mazakowski. Mazakowski will take the victory on that one. Mazakowski now try to chip it ahead to Todd, and he does. Todd now rather through the middle. Johnson now at the sideboards near the Navy bench. Riley Johnson finds the open man and Mazakowski. Riley Johnson to the side. Cam Mazakowski with the clap bomb. Can't find the twine. Can't put the biscuit in the basket there as Mitch Stengel makes the save.
Stengel has done a very good job with his saves so far, but the scoreboard definitely shows 5-1 for a reason. There have been several plays where he was just caught out, or just a wonderful shot by these Ice Pack players on the offensive side of things. And there's very little that this midshipman team can do to stop them.
Riley Johnson to the middle. Eric Todd almost had that opportunity there. Eric Todd with an open man and Mazakowski and Rushford on the other side decides to take a shot. Good save. Robinson with the rebound behind the net. Rushford can't keep it in. He does. Robinson now will send it forward to Todd. With the play still alive, and now it's sent back. Mazikowski looks down in frustration.
Mazikowski and Rushford centering this defense for the Ice Pack here. Two of the most key players. Wonderful to see them both back after a tough game for them to start this weekend against George Washington, with injuries and suspensions plaguing both. Or ejections, apologies.
Bodied down in the back. DeSelli's got something happening. Rushford heading off to the bench. Every time he's skating in that direction, we're a little bit worried he's heading to the box. Seems to be fine now.
For now, at the very least.
I can't imagine there's going to be a penalty, and there will not be. Well, Owen Norton's still off on a tripping call, of course. 13:10 left to go here in the third period. That stoppage of play was a little bit confusing.
Yes.
It might have been an offside or a high stick or a hand pass. I couldn't see the exact measurements from the ref there, as Halko will control it. Seppi, of course, the floater for today's game, as we mentioned before. Trevor Merchant, New Jersey native. Devin Halko now pressured strong at the top by Ryan Deese. Skating now are Deese, Harris, Kima, and looks like it's DeSelli's for the top penalty killing unit. Alfonsetti with a shot. Huge save by Stengel, keeping his team in the game as much as he can. Now rush up the side is Harris. Harris bodied by Cesarek. Cesarek showing why he won the top skater award yesterday in the skills competition. Cesarek now holding on to it. Devin Halko will fly it ahead to Tyler Alfonsetti. Alfonsetti will now send it flying up. Kima doing a great job of defending against him. Ostrowski on the other man as well.
Definite physical play here from the Navy midshipmen. Looks like there might be a little bit of frustration boiling over here at this point in the game, as we saw in the game versus JMU as well.
Third line now going off there for the Pack. Coming on now is the fourth line. Fourth line, actually, we've been seeing a little bit more today. Alex Vedetta, getting a lot of ice time. Vedetta, of course, coming in, trying out as a defenseman, being slotted as a forward instead. Getting a lot of good ice time today on that fourth line with Matt Costigan alongside, I believe, on that fourth line, as well as Owen Drugan. Drugan, of course, was on the team in years past, took a year off last year, and now is back, excited to get things going. Leith Jadala, the big story with him is the fact that he took a little break from hockey as well, but now is back. Eric Mura shoves it to the front of the net, just into the corner. And now on the defense, Ian O'Rourke defends to the front of the net. There goes Ostrowski. Ostrowski, a lethal goal scorer to the front, and it looks like Navy can't get off the shot there.
And Navy struggling on both ends right now. Offense and defense both can neither seem to get anything going, although their defense has definitely shored up after that early goal.
Drugan goes offside on that play. Samtwa on the ice. Looks like Ryan Samtwa from the Navy midshipman. It seems to be the floater today. A Kentucky native. Very interesting fact in that turns out Navy was defeated by Kentucky 1-0 on Friday night.
You hate to lose to your hometown team, hoping to show them up for everybody back at home.
Absolutely, and DeSalles controls the puck at the far end. Chipped out in front, looks like that was Ostenmacher at the top. Tipped just wide. Ostenmacher, of course, doing a great job with that as well.
Good interception by the
carried to the back at DeSalles. DeSalles couldn't get it past Banashevitz. Mazikowski chips it ahead. Anistertov can't get that body down. There goes Harris. Harris tried to get it through, and Anistertov is trying to circle back to DeSalles. And now the puck goes behind the cage, and the play is settled down. Rushford will field it up to Banashevitz, who chips it ahead to Jadala. Leith Jadala, the big player yesterday. Power move to the front of the net, defended strongly by Owen Norton, who comes out of the penalty box unscathed. Pack have scored in only one power play today. Have a shorthanded goal scored by Ian O'Rourke as well.
They've done especially well on the penalty kill, though, managing to stop every attempt by the
To
midshipmen.
open up space, Jadala with a beautiful back pass, and Anistertov with the shot, nothing there. Bodies flying all over the ice there. Imagine a kid's tumble gym. That was what just happened back in that corner. Now Anistertov waiting back. Rushford clears that puck into open ice, expecting Mazikowski. He wasn't there.
Mazikowski and Rushford, the two anchors of this defense, have done a wonderful job for the most part here protecting the Ice Pack goal. But enough can't be said about Hutchison and how he's done today.
Hutchison has played very well, and the defense should be at a premium today as well. As you can see, only one goal has been let in by Ian Hutchison and crew, and in that aspect as well, it was a little bit of a lapse on Hutchison's part.
Yes.
But Ian gives a good case for showing why he could be a starting goaltender in the future for the Ice Pack, definitely moving up the ranks in that respect. And now on the rush back, pushing forward is Mark Hansen, alternate captain, on the side with Ryan Deese. Deese to the front, can't get the shot off on Hutchison, defended well by the Ice Pack second line.
Right idea there.
Halko and Hudson now on the defense for the Ice Pack. Riley Johnson now has an opportunity to make something happen, and Hudson will now lead the rush. Over to Todd. Todd called offside with 8:49 left to go.
It's been a fantastic match all around for the Ice Pack. Offense and defense looking very good for them so far, but Hutchison at goalkeeper, definitely one of the players that has been most beneficial, although the veteran leadership, Sam Benishevitz, has been evident everywhere you look. Seems like we're calling his name every couple minutes as he's all over the place here today.
On the weekend so far, for State, bodied down well by Hudson. Huge hit, it seems to be, on Jacob Barbario. Alfanzetti now to the front. Can't find it. Just wide. The Ice Pack got off to a slow start on Friday night and got off to a rough finish last night. And today they've just been solid since the jump, which has been an interesting fact for sure. Do we see a similar trend throughout the year, Logan, or do we see more of a consistency factor? Coach Gazzillo has been talking about slow starts with his team for the past several years now.
There have been issues with slow starts for this team, but I think definitely in these past two games against JMU and now against Navy, you do have to account for the fact that they have had these quick starts, and the scores that they've gotten within those first 10 minutes are not to be ignored.
Cesarek, of course, winning the fastest skater competition yesterday, just had a shot stopped well by Mitch Stengel. Cesarek hasn't had any goals since the West Virginia weekend a couple weekends ago. Of course, we were originally predicting the dynamic duo between Riley Johnson and Parker Cesarek would form, but it seems lately that it looks like it's Sam Benishevitz and Laith Jadala.
Sam Benishevitz, always a keystone player on this team. Can't forget about him, honestly, and the fact that he's another member of this new dynamic duo, per se, is much to the surprise of no one, really.
Moving through the back. Brandon's
Seppi has done a wonderful job filling in at every position he's been asked to today.
Seppi moving forward. To the back. Cesarek now on the forecheck, pressuring DeSalles. DeSalles around the back, it looks like on defense right there. Seems to be Placino. Now carried back by Austin Mocker, first line back out for Scott Steele's team. Now pushing forward. Anthony Placino with a little bit of a toe drag move. Hutchison barely hangs on. That beat Seppi bad.
Absolutely. Seppi just got shaken there, of course, as soon as I said something. But Hutchison managing to stay calm and collected and managing to stop the puck right there. Really just an impressive showing all around from Hutchison today. Making a case for himself between these three goalies that we've seen this season so far.
7:10 left to go in the game so far. Pack having an opportunity to go 5-0 on the year. Something we haven't seen since the 2015-2016 season. It's a lot of numbers. It's early morning Sunday. I don't do math. The biggest thing is the fact that the Ice Pack haven't had a strong, solid start to the season in the past few seasons. 2016-2017 was injury-riddled. 2017 to 2018 was a solid year. By no means was it one of their best. But this year, they have a team which really could win the tournament and possibly go to regionals.
Again, and we've talked about those high expectations for this team and how they're going to be able to meet them. I think if they can keep this offense and goalie effort going, I think we're going to see a lot more continued success from the Ice Pack here.
Through the middle right there, that was Adena, Minnesota native Maxwell Schumann with a good shot on Hutchison. Not much air on that, but it did force a face-off in the state end. If they can win this, tired bodies are on the ice as that fourth line has been out there for quite some time.
You can tell the fatigue definitely becoming a factor, although these lines are not being changed, probably because this might be the freshest legs that we're going to see out here on the ice.
Davis Hudson with an opportunity for Costigan on the breakaway. Costigan can't make anything happen. Will deflect it out of play. They will not call a delay game on that one since that was deflected out.
Looks like a high shot there. Stengel just doing a wonderful job with that glove as he has all game. Letting up 5 goals, definitely not the result that you wanted to see here today if you're a midshipman fan, but still, the Ice Pack offense has been difficult to stop, to say the least.
Jadala now taking faceoffs for State. Sam Benishevitz, Brandon Seppi, and Ellis Rushford now on the back unit. Seems like they're looking for a little bit more of a situation where they have more defense towards the blue line.
Oh, absolutely.
Brandon Seppi now at the back. There's Banishevitz with a chip shot off of the boards. Jadala now with an opportunity to make something happen. He's liking the chances to work alongside the boards. Jadala would try to make a drop pass, instead makes a toe drag through his legs. Very saucy move there. Sam Banishevitz couldn't collect anything on the doorstep. Jadala gets bodied down hard by what I believe to be Ian Coyne, number 12 for the Navy midshipman.
First we've heard from Coyne.
Coyne, of course, we haven't seen much of him today. Nistertov tried to push that puck in. Couldn't get anything past Stangel. Coyne today is a native of Barrington, Rhode Island.
Definitely a lot of different states background from these midshipmen. It's good to have players from all over. You get a little bit of different experience from all of them, but definitely have to wonder how they can all come together, form this team.
Nistertov tried to get something happening there. Lace Jadala with the forecheck, still trying to drag that puck away, but Ostrowski comes out on top. Now carry forward as that third line back out for the Navy midshipmen with Jacob Barbario and Emmett Jenkins. Jenkins now with the strong forecheck to the back. Eric Muir now along the corner. With 5 minutes left to go here, State needs to play a little bit of keep away from their own end, and they're doing so. Jadala skating backwards. At this point, they're just trying to look fancy for the fans. Banishevitz to the middle. Banishevitz makes a power move to the front. What a dynamic play from the dynamic duo for this year, and Banishevitz and Jadala. What just happened there, Logan?
Just a difficult shot there. Wonderful job with the breakaway, getting right, just slicing through the defense. But they got the shot that they wanted, just sailed it a little bit there on the shot from Benishevitz. But definitely, Jadala and Benishevitz are going to be 2 players to watch going forward.
Dynamic, absolutely dynamic. Sam Benishevitz cut to the middle with a shot by Todd and a huge save by Stengel. We'll talk a little bit more about that play in just a little bit right here on PackTV. Riley Johnson. Johnson moving over. Johnson with the quick shot just wide. Got deflected out in front. Strong defense being played by Anthony Pacino. Got a little bit of a mismatch here. First line for Navy out against the second line of State. But as we heard from Trevor Merchant in the past, truly believes in this team they have about 4 first lines going, which is incredible. This is the best team that State has iced in the past several years. Most lethal team. Riley Johnson in the corner. Tries to find O'Rourke, but instead finds Kevin Harris for the Navy midshipman and tries to find Austin Mocker, who goes up against Eric Mura. That will be a high-sticking call. No, it will not be. Kevin Harris now trying to move it in. O'Rourke defending well. O'Rourke with the pressure. Back out in front. Great opportunity for Schumann in the slot to try to get a shot. Couldn't get anything there.
Looks like the referees are just trying to get this game over as well. Move on to the rest of the game slate that we have for the rest of today.
Schumann tried to receive that pass on the blue line with O'Rourke. Body down. Huge opportunity for O'Rourke there to make something happen. Takes a hit, makes a play.
Physical play here from the midshipmen. Again, really just frustration being down 5-1. They might be...
Toe drag. Robinson lost the puck. Body down there by Owen Norton on defense.
Kept his balance admirably there, though. Taking a shot like that, I would not be able to stay up on this ice.
Now moving through. Sailing through, rather. Navy midshipman. Ha. Ryan Deese. To the front of the net. Davis Hudson couldn't find it with a blocked shot. Now Hudson moving through.
Lost the puck there for a second.
The Ice Pack players playing better than I can make jokes. As the puck comes flittering ahead, there comes Robinson. Robinson now in the neutral zone waiting to make something happen. Robinson had an opportunity to pass back to Cesarek. Didn't take it. Decided to carry the puck up himself through the legs. Puck is chipped back. No icing call from the ref.
Things getting chippy with Robinson and a midshipman down there.
Alfonzetti. Alfonzetti pushes forward. Alfonzetti with a goal today. Alfonzetti with a quick shot.
Great glove save by Stengel. Something he's been doing all day.
Coach Gazillo last night talked to me after the game about how the the people inside the penalty box, we'll call them the officials here,
Yes.
opted to not go for a running clock. It was the final 10 minutes. Usually if a game is running late, a lot of teams are sharing this ice today. They want to make sure everyone gets on and off appropriately. Would you opt for a running clock towards the end, like in the final 10 minutes, or do you say keep it going, anything can happen?
I say anything can happen, honestly. We saw last night, although the game was out of reach for JMU, they scored several quick goals to make it a lot less hurtful for them, coming back from 9-1 to about 9-4 in the span of about a minute or two. So I think the game never really is truly over until that last buzzer sounds. So definitely don't keep the clock running in those final 10 minutes.
Barbario, Ostrowski, and Jenkins now back out for the midshipmen. Play is stopped with $1:48 left to go. Several things, of course, happening for the Ice Pack coming into this week. Great performance over the weekend. Not sure as of right now if this determines a win for them in the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament. They have scored enough goals to win, but of course Navy could make a strong case after scoring 13 against Duke the other night. Mazikowski. We'll be learning how the points add up for those. Alfonsetti moving forward. Alfonsetti now working through the zone. Alfonsetti with a shot. Quick save, but that was after the whistle on an offside call.
Referee stopping play with about a minute 30 left in this game. Ice Pack up 5-1 over the midshipmen.
A couple things to note as well. In a few weeks, the Ice Pack will be traveling up to Richmond and Delaware. PackTV at this point should be heading up to cover that game. Logan and I will be covering that game for you as a part of WKNC's radio connections with PackTV. A huge thanks to them for allowing us to come and broadcast games on their channel. Try to find Costigan out in front. Rushford with the shot blocked out in front. Alice Rushford now. Rushford working his way around. There's Alfonsetti to the front of the net. Couldn't work anything there. There's Owen Drugan. Owen Drugan in the back. Fought off hard by Tyler Kima. Kima in the corner. Wins the battle, sends it flying up.
Looks like the Ice Pack will just slow things down here in this final minute.
Mazikowski. Mazikowski with a backhand pass. Bodies down. One of the Navy players. Not exactly sure what that number was. I believe that was 26.
As we approach the final half-minute mark here, this definitely was a win for the Ice Pack.
Costigan moving through. Costigan with Vedetta. Vedetta got tripped up a little bit. Rushford with a shot. He scores! Ellis Rushford, 6-1 Ice Pack.
Rushford just rubbing salt in the wound, seemingly, as this game is out of reach already. It's got to be demoralizing for the midshipmen, honestly.
A little bit of salt in the wound there, Logan. With 28 seconds left to go, this game was over. Last year at this time, State won the game 5-3. Now they're going to win 6-1.
Yes.
It's an amazing show up here from NC State.
No, definitely. Ice Pack showed out this Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament. There's not much more you could ask for. An overtime victory and 2 commanding shutouts.
Navy, of course, will need to rebound from this loss heading into the rest of the year. Navy will go 1-2 on this tournament. Through the wicket, Sam Benishevitz can't pile it home. Anish Shatov looking to make it 7-1. Anish Shatov to the middle, glove down by Stengel. It's a demoralizing loss, like you said there, Logan. Navy will need to rebound. Ellis Rushford will get his second of the year. Most highly penalized player. Costigan with his first point of the year as well. Fan base cheering in front.
Absolutely.
And I believe I just heard Laith Jadala on the assist as well. Jadala having a day himself.
So we play out these final 6 seconds.
A goal and couple assists with 2 seconds left to go. This game is almost over. It looks like they're trying to get one more face-off in just for the stat records.
Ice Pack trying to get as much scores in. Again, that goal differential playing a big part in who wins this tournament this weekend. Ice Pack heavy contenders, though, if they go 3-0.
Jadala with the face-off win, and that's it. The team surrounds Ian Hutchison after an amazing performance from him and a great scoring showdown from the Ice Pack here. Our Wolfpack Outfitters player of the game, without a doubt. You had a lot of great goalies, a lot of great defensemen, but the veteran leadership this year has been none other than Sam Benishevitz having an absolute show today. A goal and a couple of assists as well, leading the team in points this year. We'll be talking with him shortly following the game, along with head coach Mike Gazzillo. As always, thank you for watching as the teams line up for handshakes. We'll be back right here on PackTV.
blowout win here today for the Pack, 6-1 in this very early morning tilt. Zach Salwaye here alongside Logan Ward. Thank you for joining us, of course, for all those who are tuning in, Navy fans who tuned in today. Thank you so much. Hopefully I brought you good coverage. We did as well. I may mess up a few names, but that happens sometimes, of course. But today, it was all about the offense. Sam Benishevitz, of course, leading that as well. He is our Wolfpack Outfitters player of the game. Will be joining us shortly as well. In terms of defense, Navy lapsed a lot. What did you see from their defense?
Their defense really just struggled at times. They let their goalie take way too many shots, and there wasn't really anything that they could do to stop this Ice Pack attack. There was just no way that they could find to solve anything, and it showed really at the end of the game.
It was a fantastic game for sure from the Ice Pack as well, especially from the offense. Riley Johnson, of course, breaks the goalless streak today, adding one today as well after the Superman Johnson goal, as fans may remember from Friday night. Yeah. It was an incredible goal scored as well. Sam Benishevitz adding one. Laith Jadala, the first star of the game as well, adding a goal and a couple of helpers, banging in a few shots. A breakaway goal that I didn't even think went in. What did you see today from this new dynamic duo?
This new dynamic duo is the real deal. We're seeing a lot from what this team can really do if those two are rolling. And when those two are rolling, there's nothing really that can be done, as we saw with Navy. They kept trying out different things, different lines for their defense, but there was nothing that really could stop Benishevitz and Johnson.
Ian Hutchison today played a strong game as well. A goaltender that didn't see any action this year, didn't see a lot last year, comes into this game. Does he make a case for himself being a future starter?
I think absolutely makes a case for himself right here. It's an absolutely dynamic performance when you only allow the Navy team to score one goal despite everything that they were doing.
So, your general thoughts on the game, just overall, what does State need to do heading into Duke next weekend to carry across this now new 5-0 record?
They've just got to get some rest and get ready, get prepared for this Duke team. I know that their offense is just ready to have a shot at Duke, who let up 13 goals in their last game.
It was an outstanding game for sure. 6-1 the final here from the Raleigh Iceplex. Final game in the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament for NC State. We'll be back with coach and player interviews right here on PackTV. Awaiting head coach Mike Gazzillo here at the Raleigh Iceplex as the Ice Pack finish off 3-0 here at the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament to kick off the year. Zach Salwaye alongside Logan Ward. Here's the lowdown basically on the tournament. Virginia Tech and Wake Forest are about to play.
Yes.
The big event in that game is the fact that if Wake Forest loses to Virginia Tech, if Wake Forest beats Virginia Tech, one or the other. Basically, the Ice Pack are in the lead for the championship here for winning it. We're going to confirm that with Coach Mike Gazzillo in just a minute here. Basically, what's going to happen is they're waiting on the results of this game. Finding out that happens, State takes away with the win. How big do you think it is to win the tournament?
Absolutely. It's a big deal. It's bragging rights for the most part, but still, you get the points going forward, and that's really one of the most important things whenever you talk to anybody from this team.
Especially that. We're going to be talking about this tournament for a long time. We're going to take a quick break right here on PackTV, and we'll be right back with head coach Mike Gazzillo on PackTV. With the man behind the mustache, head coach Mike Gazzillo, Zach Salwaye here for PackTV. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Yep, thank you for having me.
It's been a long weekend for sure, Coach. I'm sure you're happy to finally say it's done and over with.
Yeah, it has been a long weekend. The Sunday morning games come around quick.
For sure, Coach. But you walk away 3-0 on the weekend. Outstanding weekend as well, finishing off, scoring 4 goals in the first game, 9 yesterday, 6 today. Offensive production was pretty high compared to last year, especially at this time winning against Navy 5-3 last year, losing to Virginia 6-1 as well. What changed since last year in terms of offensive production?
I mean, we lost a lot of guys, and the guys that came in, guys like Parker and Riley and Robo, I mean, they got good speed and they got good hands, and you pair them up with some of the other guys, and then you got Nikita and Late that came in, and I mean, we just got guys that can put the puck in the net, so with me the whole thing is trying to get them to shoot more, believe it or not, but other than that, I mean, it's just been a really good freshman class, or new group, I should say. They're not all freshmen.
Nikita, of course, is the big-bodied center down the middle that is taking Will Beardor's place essentially, really flanking well between Sam Benishevitz and Laith Jadala on that first line. In general, what do you think of Laith Jadala's performance in the weekend, all in all, getting the hat trick last night, maybe even a 4th goal, and today being the first star of today's game?
Well, I told the guys in the locker room after the game, I said, just by virtue of age, I've been around this game a long time, and I've seen an awful lot of things, but I've literally never seen a guy make an entry with the puck from the defensive side of the red line into the offensive side, skating backwards. So everybody was just like, kind of, what is he doing? So, I mean, you could just see some of the passes that he makes to himself and everything. But it's not that he's selfish, it's just, in order to get around the guy. And, I mean, he's been great. I mean, guys love him, so I'm really happy to have him.
Jadala, of course, is a very dynamic skater today as well, really pushing forward. Today, the story, though, was the goaltending. Mitch Stangler for Navy did not perform as sharp as he did last year or throughout the season for the most part. But Ian Hutchison, does he make a case for himself being a future starter on your team?
I mean, anytime the guys go out and they play well, and, it helps our guys rally behind them. Honestly, I thought our first period was a little shaky in terms of some of the rebounding and stuff, but, Ian settled down. I mean, he hadn't started a game in a long time, right? So you have to give him that. And he settled down and he played well. He stayed the course, and I was pretty happy with him. Actually, I think the Navy guy played pretty good. I mean, he's always a good goaltender, and I mean, he stopped some of the guys on some pretty good shots. So I mean, we loaded up the net, and he did his job, and I think he kept them in it, for the most part. And yeah, I mean, the goaltending on both ends, I was very happy with.
Loading up on the net is a very important key factor as well. As today, Sam Benishevitz ripped home a shot 30 seconds in. In general, we were talking yesterday about getting off to these quick starts. Quick start today?
I would say 30 seconds can't do much better than that. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted. I just said, guys, we had a little bit of a letdown in the third period, so we have to just pick it back up. And now Tim alluded to the fact that we really hadn't had 3 solid periods of hockey. The first game against George Washington, we were flat in the first. Yesterday, we were flat in the third, and we came out and we weren't flat at any point in this game. So when you get out and your top line gets out and gets you on the board in the first shift, that's always a good pick-me-up for the guys.
In terms of heading to Duke next week, of course, it's a big game after this one. You're going 5-0 into that one. Should be a great game. What do you expect from your team? More importantly, what do you expect from Duke?
I haven't really seen Duke at all. The one thing that I can say, and they've had a couple of rough years. Where they're at right now, I don't know. But even then, they're kind of like Navy. Just going to keep coming at you. So we just got to do what we do best. We just got to forecheck aggressively, and we got to get pucks to the net, and we got to play a good, strong defensive game. And if we get those things all taken care of, the game will take care of itself.
All right, Coach. Now the most important question of the day: what are your plans? Three-game weekend now. There's got to be something on Coach Gazilla's plate here.
Giants are on against Carolina at 1 o'clock, and I will be front and center on the couch.
Good plan, Coach. Sounds
better to me. I don't get to see them all the time because they don't put them on. They put on teams like the Steelers and whatever else. But
for sure, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for doing an outstanding job this weekend, giving us some great games to cover here at PackTV. Signing off for Logan Ward, I'm Zach Salwaya for PackTV. We'll see you next week as the Ice Pack take on the Duke Blue Devils.